And not everyone's blessed to like make that their occupation right away, and I totally get that. But like, how can you infuse like what you're good at in your daily life and start to trade with people based on that more and more? Like, I'm not saying like take money out of it and go live in like a hippie commune, but I'm just saying like that we're so powerful when we work like that with each other. And I think the hippie commune thing was a cultural construct given to us so that we don't unite and we don't work together. Because it's a powerful tool, to that oppositional tool, like, oh, we don't want to be these labels that we have, like, right when I say sharing, labels, right? We all have that as Americans. So I just think like, and the reason I'm saying this is because having gone to the East, like having spent time in India and Nepal and China and these places, these people are looking to us as women in the United States for their hope. And that is not an understatement. Like, it literally like brings me to tears, like being in the circle and being able to say that, because like women in villages like looked to me and like said goodbye to me like, you're the hope of the world. Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, and we really are. So what we do here in America, how we treat each other as American women, could not be more powerful. We are setting the stage for it across the world. And that is not the cultural story that we're being fed. And that's okay. Like, that's okay. Because we have this circle, we have this reality. You're probably in this circle because you realize that some things are probably going to change pretty soon. And you're probably going to be like a part of that, or you're already obviously a part of that. You know what I mean? So, as we are all afraid of change as humans, I myself very much included, I'm aware that this is the only thing that allows me to move forward. And I think this is more powerful. Imagine that. And I just want everyone in this room to like feel that and feel Kimmy's words about like where we're going as a society, and know that you chose to be in a body and you chose all of this. What are you going to do with it? Like, how are you going to bring that forward? And don't be afraid. You will be like so supported by the kingdom, however you relate to the kingdom. That's perfect too. And you are so supported, especially in this time. Like, in my opinion, the angels are just like waiting there for us to call upon them because they want to move society forward. They really do. They want to help us. They want to help the helpers. So that's my speech, and just like thank you for allowing me to connect that, and just in my own mind connect like the whole thing, your information to like even why I'm doing what I'm doing and all of that, and being able to say that to you guys out loud as well. So thank you for allowing me that space, holding that space.
What it's all about is just, they keep telling them, just be yourself and tell your story and just be yourself, your own style, you know, whatever it is. And we love these people because they are unique. They're not just the status quo, they're just themselves. And it's just wonderful to see them becoming that. And so, I don't know if that makes any sense at all, but it's inspiring.
Yeah, no, we should be drawing out the best in everybody. And, you know, but we have to believe the best is out there and contribute to just making it better, because it's out there. There's so much good out there. I'm sorry, I don't. Everybody is focusing on the negative, but just, you know, down all the time. And it's just like there's positive, there's great stuff out there, and we just have to expose everybody to it and not be afraid.
I agree.
Yeah.
Thank you. Being more patient with that. And after a little while of doing that, not only is it just a better approach, you get more accomplished, but you feel so much better that after a while it becomes a habit, and it's more of how you approach life and approach people, whether you care for them or not, for whatever reason, to have that open mind and that open heart and that empathy or forgiveness instead of just that instant anger. You know, it's very therapeutic, if nothing else.
Thank you. This is a place to be heard. So if you want to say something, you take that feather and you hold that feather as long as you want to hold it. And we will listen to you. Yes, we're here for that. And I want you to feel held in that, because we don't often get that. Like, we shut ourselves up all the time. So say what you want to say here and don't have shame over talking, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to say, because my mom's getting older, and she has so much wisdom, and no one really pays attention to her. The younger generation, they're just off on their own, and they don't even care anymore, and it's so sad. So, I try to tell my daughters, look, your grandma's not going to be around too much. Can you? No, I'm busy. And it's a shame, and it's sad, because we're going to be the next generation. Like my mom's 74. I'm hoping she lasts a good another 10 years, 20 years. But she has so much wisdom, and that's the Red Tent used to be about that. It used to be about all the generation of women getting together like this, from the young to the old, and sharing like how to have babies, what do you do on your wedding night, and healing each other and learning all the, like Kimmy was saying, oral tradition. And that's really what inspired me to start going to these things and start, having Kim, really get interested in too, is so that we can bring that back, and so all the women can be passing down all the wisdom. It's what we need. It's, that's the number one thing we need. We need wisdom. And to help each other and help us lift, because then we take that into our homes, and that's where change starts.
I was told by someone when I did my yoga teacher training that I was destined to work with older people. And at the time, I didn't really understand why that was said to me. But I think I really resonate with the wisdom kind of what you're saying, of just like, there's a population of people that are alive right now that have seen the world change so much.
That's true.
Like unfathomable change.
That's what we're just talking about, Ginger.
Yeah, and we just like have access to them. They're like walking computers. And it reminded me, I shared this on the Red Tent Forum, but in bigger cities right now, they're doing, it's called like human libraries. And literally like older people are chartered to come in and just sit at a table and share their wisdom with whoever arrives at the table.
Yeah.
Wow. How cool
That's
is
cool.
that?
Yeah, and they're just like called human libraries, like their wisdom, their stuff. So I love, and that's how I envision this circle too. Like I loved Tanya's mom being here last time and like having that generation of people, and that's happened a couple of times, where we had like maid and mother crone like all represented here. So I love that you said that, and definitely feel free to like invite your mother, invite your grandmother, invite your kids if you have them. The only parameter around the Red Tent is that women have started menstruating already, so that they've had their first period, and then they can come to the Red Tent. In fact, that's part of what it is as well, is like celebrating them having that process instead of like how we normally receive it and all that, to be welcomed by this powerful group of women. Like, congratulations, like you get to sit with us now. Like, that's cool. Right?
No,
So that's what it is. Yeah.
But I'm thinking it would be awesome, and this is just an idea I'm throwing out there, if we really work at bringing in some young girls into this that can share the circle with us, because most of us are over, 30? But maybe even getting some 20-year-olds, early 20, 19, 20, 21 in here. Because as much as we want to, and yes, we can share our wisdom to these young ladies, and they can take that wisdom, but they're going to be applying it to a world we can't touch.
Right.
And they're going to be applying it to this world, which, as my daughter said, it is a tough world, Mom. She tells me, you have no idea what goes on out there. Bad stuff, on the internet and clubs, and you have no idea how bad it is out there. So she does grasp onto what we're doing here and this sort of enlightening. She loves crystals and she's a hippie, and for lack of a better word. But she loves it all, and I think that's what grounds her. And she's hanging on to that for dear life because that's what's going to keep her grounded in the world that they're in.
That's perfect.
You know, so we have to remember, even though we teach them our wisdom, that they have to apply it in a world that is so different than ours.
My experience wasn't being taught that other women were safe. Actually, my experience was being taught that I should like compete against other women and like that, like basically an ego war kind of a thing, you know, like, and that's part of, I think, why it's so difficult for young women who are developing their ego identity. If you go back to like Freudian psychology, like your 20s are about individuating as a human being. So you're in the process of individuation. Coming into collectivism is difficult during that. So you all, as young people, are like very evolved to be a part of a collective group while you're going through that like individuation.
That's a good point.
And I think like because you are who you are, like it's us. Like I'm also like 25, so I think I'm young too. Like encouraging people like you to come in, and like it's not scary, just come, like that constant encouragement. Like it might take like 6 months, but you keep encouraging them because someday they'll come, and just like you'll be like, why didn't I come sooner? Because it's just like yoga. It's not about you. It's about the group.
Yeah.
You know, it's about like the collective experience. So I love that kind of this whole conversation just kind of lended itself to empowerment. So maybe we leave here and like for the next Red Tent, feel free to encourage your friends to come. Or like maybe someone who's never come to a Red Tent, like ask them to come with you and be their buddy or something if that's something you feel called to do.
It's nice because when you get older, then you start feeling more of like a sisterhood, and it's such a relief. And then you realize that these are your sisters, and the guys, they're wolves, you know, and they're not of them. You know, you really can't trust them as much as your sisters. So that's really helpful information to know, because that's what you're saying, right? Because we need each other, and we're going to need each other a lot. You know, when these big changes are happening, and you're saying that this is our strength, this is really our community, and this is what we desperately need.
Yeah, like relationships might come and go. Like you might have a lover now, you might not have a lover tomorrow, but like your best friend, like this circle, like true love and circles never end. Like you leave this room, like you have access to all of these people when you leave here.
Right.
Like in reality, I don't say that as like some fun thing. Like I really mean that. Like if you need something, like reach out to me and I will seriously be there to support you.
Yeah.
If I'm not the person to support you, like pick someone better. You know what I mean? Like find someone that like suits your need in that moment. And there's a variety of ways to do that. So if you need to connect, really please do. And then joining your hands together near the heart, feeling your heart beating in your chest. And if you feel called to do this, you can rub your hands together to generate your healing energy, healing power between your hands that we've cultivated in this circle. And as your hands get warm, think of a person or maybe a situation that needs this healing light and energy. Maybe it's yourself, maybe it's another. Either way, when your hands are warm, direct this energy to where it's needed, towards that person or yourself, or maybe both. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.